What's going on, everybody? It's Afro Think Tank. I had a thought, since there are white folks who don't want to apologize for being white, as if anybody ever asked them to apologize for being white. That seems like some reflection shit to me. We don't care that you're white. We just care about your behavior, That's the only thing. I don't know how much clearer anybody on the planet can make it, but we just care about your behavior, and how you act, your humanity. All right. And it seems like for a group of people, and I'm talking to the racists, right? I'm talking to the people who subscribe to whiteness like it's a real thing, right? I'm talking to those European Americans who want to be a part of white. You don't want to be a part of the melanated world, because everybody's brown. Actually, you're actually brown, but you're just on the lighter spectrum. But you want to subscribe to whiteness. You guys made it up. All right. You want to make the race thing. You want to do the divide. You're the group to do that. So that's the rules we're rolling with, right? So since you guys, as a group of white people, are in fact, going extinct due to your own policies, that is a truth statement, right? Your genes are genetically inferior, right? That is a true statement. That's not hate. I'm just stating facts, right? You've never been a large population on the world in the global scale. Those are facts. No matter what they taught you, you've always been the minority. No matter what you believe, no matter what we were convinced to believe, no matter what the whole world believed, in the real world, you've always been the vast majority. You've been the minority. And African people have always been the majority, right? And Asians have been the majority over you, but Africans are the majority. And despite what you believe, there's more people in Africa than the 1.4 billion they keep talking about. They don't fucking know. Trust and believe. There's more. They don't know. Africa's vast. You don't even know how big Africa is. Most people don't know how big Africa is. Because the layers of lies, white supremacy is laid upon you guys, it didn't prepare you for the inevitable fall of your superiority, right? Your forefathers screwed you over by not preparing you for the inevitable catch-up, right? Because you guys, despite the advantage of that gun and cannon, it was only a matter of time so everybody caught up, right? So effectively, everybody's catching up. And because everybody's catching up from all your world global plundering and pillaging, you guys getting a little nervous, right? Because you guys know what you did. You know your history, right? You guys are proud of your history of world conquering domination. That white superiority is like, yeah, we are the Vikings. We plunder and pillage. We're obviously superior, right? Right? You guys always try to make yourself feel superior because it's a insecurity based off the fact that you guys have absolutely no history in Europe that's worth anything. Like, there's no ancient history. All the history is in the southern portion of the planet. Right? All the history is in Africa and Asia, the melanated world. Where, all the ancient structures and the old world, right? Like humanity actually, 99.99% of human and civilized world happened in Africa and Asia Minor, and then the Far East, and then you guys just popped up, so y'all don't got too much going on, but you guys are such a violent group of human beings, and you guys, I have to give props. You guys are very good at being tricks, at tricking people, right? You have taken advantage. You see there are people who, have natural advantages over you, and you guys found out a way to get around that, right? That gun and cannon really, served y'all well, because before that, you guys were just, bound by how far you can go with that, shield, man on man, right? So that limited you pretty much, but that gun came along, you guys did a pretty good job, right? So you guys took over the world, and you don't. And I understand, you have a sense of pride with that, transatlantic slave trade, your world plundering, pillaging, dropping nukes, bombs, wars, guns. We know you like bullets and we do know that on a deep, in your community, you love all that. All that, guys, you're cool with. You're like, yeah, fuck it. That's just with nature, human beings, only the strong survive, understand it. But the consequence of all that is you guys did a lot of bad shit, right? But right now, for a group of people who have done all that shit to all the people on the planet, you guys can't take much pain, you can't take much scrutiny about it. And, like for instance, the Vikings, you guys love the Vikings, right? You guys love the Vikings, but what were the Vikings? The Vikings were a bunch of criminals. They're a bunch of white people who stole and killed and murdered. That's what they're famous for. And all the stories that you guys watch on Netflix, all that shit's bullshit. Even your fictional Viking characters are made up characters because they weren't that that glamorous. They weren't that glorious. They weren't that big. The battles weren't as big as they try to portray on TV. You guys weren't that chivalrous. That shit was a bunch of fat, bald, white folks that look just like now, all armored up and shit, and fucking killing each other like fucking weirdos and shit. If you want to see how that shit really worked out, all you got to do is they got a armored fighting league where they dressed up in their old armor and shit and they fight like MMA. Google that shit. You'll see how that fucking shit really looks in real life. Not that fucking cinema shit. That shit's bullshit. Look how ridiculous they look and all that goddamn armor hopping up and down. Matter of fact, if you wore armor, you'll probably die of an infection because it was a very disgusting way to go about warfare, to be honest, right? But I understand why they needed it, right? But I'm just saying, right? They, you know, that's their one thing. They need attachments. They've always needed attachments because it just doesn't work naturally. But, you know, all in all, they're proud of that shit, right? Because that's when the Middle Ages came along and they started to attempt to emulate the Roman Empire that dominated them barbarian savages for 500 years, you know, because that's what he did. Right? That's some Anglo-Saxon, but these Europeans that's running the world are the same Europeans that emulated the Roman Empire after the Germans, once again, the Germans destroyed the Roman Empire. Them freaking Gauls came down, sacked Rome, the last civilized empire, the last ancient civilized society before the Europeans destroyed it, and there was a Dark Ages, a bunch of Anglo-Saxon barbarian Europeans around emulating ancient history until somebody figured some shit out again. Until the black people went up and took over Europe and civilized you guys once again, and then you guys became smart, and then we told y'all too much, and y'all went world gallivanting around the world. That's what freaking happened. But right now, all that shit's coming to an end, right? So you guys love your history, and if you die on your own shield, if you take up some of that European culture of, you know, even if you lose, you know, as long as you stand on your shield, you know, take that hit like a man, take the loss like a man, you know, there's pride in that, and pride in L's. You can take an L and be prideful. And I think that a real white supremacist would be standing on their shield right now, taking that hit because they're going down, right? So they should be standing on their shield, right? Like Nick Fuentes, the Mexican gay Mexican, and like, fuck it, I'm just gonna be racist. Just be like that. You know what I'm saying? Just go out like that, at least. You know, that's the small part I can respect about him. But this crying and bitching and moaning, right? It's like, I mean, well, you know, he cries and bitches and moans too, though. He cries. I mean, there's a lot of crying going on with the white supremacists. I mean, they're just crying, like whining, like little babies. Oh my God, everybody. It's like you destroy the world, right? You kill, you genocide all kind of animals. You destroy the environments, right? You destroy all kind of like knowledge and history that the world had. We could have been so much further advanced as humanity if it wasn't for the interruption of the Europeans, right? Like legitimately, the science, even the science that we got right now, if we weren't gallivanting around the world trying to dominate because some rich guy, white guy in a suit wants more money, right? We could literally be investing in freaking more quantum physics research and going to fuck. We probably would have been to Mars already if we would all had a national movement to where we get together and we all motivated because we all got a unifying mission to where we can unify and go do some shit great, right? Like we used to do, because we're gonna need that shit, because right now we're too super fractured, right? But I'm not gonna apologize for being black. I don't want you to apologize for being white. So I'm not gonna apologize for blackness and them taking over. I'm not gonna apologize for our excellence. I'm not gonna apologize for my nappy hair. I love it. I'm not gonna apologize for that. I'm not gonna apologize to where the hair grows out my face the way God intended it. I'm not gonna apologize for the fact that the sun likes me, right? I'm not gonna apologize that God made me and I made you. I'm not gonna apologize for that. I'm not gonna apologize that our history is so great and grand and that we represent 99.99% of human existence. I'm not gonna apologize that we're the greatest explorers in the world. I'm not gonna apologize that we're the greatest architects in the world. I'm not gonna apologize that we're the greatest scientists in the world. I'm not gonna apologize that we're the greatest athletes in the world. I'm not gonna apologize that we're the greatest inventors in the world. I'm not gonna apologize. I'm not gonna apologize for none of that shit. I'm not gonna apologize for it. I'm not gonna apologize for my Twitch muscles. I'm not gonna apologize for my ability to connect with rhythm and have swag. I'm not going to apologize for my natural coolness. I'm not going to apologize for my natural charisma. I'm not going to apologize for my deep ancient African history. I'm not going to apologize for my high freaking vocabulary. I'm not going to apologize for the fact that African people are pollywogs and can speak all kind of goddamn languages and make up languages and improve your basic languages to make it cool and you want to talk like us. I'm not going to apologize for that shit. We're not sorry. Okay? So you don't got to be sorry. We don't want you to be sorry. Don't expect us to be sorry. So when you talk down on us, who the fuck are you talking to? Because I'm standing up here. Okay? And that's how shit's going to be from now on. We don't expect you to apologize, and don't expect us to apologize. So when we take over shit, that's just the way the fuck it is, because we conquering now. Just like you, we want to be like you. Since you believe everybody want to be like you, well, we gonna be like you then. You should take that as a compliment that we just following your footsteps. We are assimilating. We're gonna assimilate to be like you guys, you white Western world. We're gonna do what you do. We're gonna practice how you practice. We're just gonna take over. We're gonna compete. And then when we get to a certain level, we're gonna make things more, more advantageous for ourselves. Huh? And we're gonna spread and multiply and be plenty. We're gonna do what you did. Okay? So, and we ain't gonna apologize for it. So that's just what it is. And we ain't just gonna say what we wanna say. We're gonna look at you in your eye now. Guess what? Because it's not against the law. Remember when it used to be against the law? To look at you in your eye, you remember that? It ain't against the law now, so I can see you now. We right here. So you ain't got to apologize, and I'm not gonna apologize. So we got that straight. So go do what you gotta do. I'm gonna go do what I gotta do. And that's just what it is, because it is what it is. All right, so yeah. You know what I'm saying? White people, you ain't gotta apologize. Because we black folks, we ain't gonna apologize. Our women ain't gonna apologize for, being a standard. Our women ain't gonna apologize for their strength and charisma. Our women ain't gonna apologize for being the envy of all women in the world. Our women ain't gonna be apologized for really being the most desired woman in the world. That's why all women hate on her, because they try to be like her at the same time. I'm not going to apologize for my women being the standard, the beauty standard, the real beauty standard. Huh? Their goddamn blessing is a curse. I'm not gonna apologize. They're your mothers. Understand? Y'all always gonna want to be like your mama, right? And y'all always gonna be like your daddies. That's just biologically natural. We talking about big picture here. All right? So yeah, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that being said, y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section. Are y'all if you white, you apologizing for being white? Nobody asks you. I don't care. I don't care if you be white. What's wrong with that? If you black, are you apologizing for being black? You gonna apologize for you being unapologetically black? Let me know in the comment section. Let them know in the comment section. We done with all that bullshit. We done gave you. We done been patient. We done now. It's over. All right, the times is coming. God's people is rising. All right. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. This Afro Think Tank. Learn something. Teach them. I'm out.
Ain't nobody trying to argue with you all damn day, bro. Shut the fuck up. Damn.
Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan.
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.